I was born and bred in the UK in the city of Birmingham. I did my first degree in microbiology at Nottingham University, and I switched into animal science and did a masterate and then continued that on to a PhD. Postdoc was advertised in New Zealand, and off I went to Lincoln University in the South Island. The first permanent position I was offered was here at Ruakura in August 1977. I still wanted to understand what it was that regulated milk production in cattle, which was pretty much an unknown. There were two features there. One was that the development of the mammary gland in the cow had not been described properly, and the factors affecting the cells in the gland, that had not been described. Most of what we understood around, particularly the loss of cell in the udder, was to do with milking less frequently. The reality is that the genetics of the cow milk twice a day was by and large very highly correlated with how they would perform on once a day. I left there in 2003 and joined Via Lactea, which was a subsidiary of Fonterra. It was a really quite an exciting time as the genetic technologies were being developed. The bovine genome was being sequenced. So all our research was targeting the milk composition traits and things like milk fat colour, milk fat composition, milk protein composition. But LIC's role in the research, in the genetic research at the time, was absolutely core to further development. When Via Lactea closed, I was full-time with LIC. We had all the genetic tools that were needed really to make quite rapid progress. The one that came along serendipitously was around developing heat-tolerant cattle. We identified a gene that conferred really quite a lot of heat tolerance in a beef animal that was originally bred in the Caribbean. We've since then taken that gene, put it into a dairy background, and then tried to get rid of all the beef genes out of the system, which we've now largely done. And these animals will tolerate daytime temperatures, we think, that are 3 to 4 degrees hotter. The development of our heat-tolerant cows does mean that we can take New Zealand grazing genetics into places where it otherwise wouldn't fit. So for the last 20 years I've been teaching lactation at University of Waikato. One of the questions I ask the students, what they learned at school around reproduction, lactation is never mentioned, never talked about, which I think is sacrilege. It's a key part of the reproduction process. For most species, so all that parental investment in the pregnancy it would be wasted if it wasn't for the process of lactation. My name is Steve Davis, and the best way of describing my skill set is really in lactational physiology.